Hello everyone and welcome to the channel of the Meditating Monk. I am not a monk, I am a full-time working physician, but with the grace of God, I was able to create some time of daily encounter with the Lord to get to know Him more and to love Him more. And if I could manage this with my busy schedule, I trust that you can too. And I hope this channel can give you some tips to do just that. So the question we are answering today is, what are those garments of skin that Genesis talks about, right? After the fall, Adam and Eve leave the garden, but they are given garments of skin by God. And I used to read this and just, understanding the way it was written, literally, clothing, because they were naked. But then I was hearing something on a podcast. The podcast is called The Lord of the Spirits. I will drop a link in the description. Super rich. Two priests basically talking about mostly the Old Testament and the New Testament and so forth. And they had a couple things to say that completely changed my perspective. The first one is, well, death did not exist before the fall, right? So when God gave them garment of skins, He had to show them what death is, right? So they had to take the skins of dead animals, right? So first of all, He was making them acquainted with what death is going to look like because they had never seen it. But most importantly, those garments of skin that they were given represented mortality, because before the fall, they were not mortal, and after the fall, they became mortal. Now, we think about this often, that this was God's punishment to Adam and Eve, and I challenge that in the sense that, first of all, actions have consequences. If you're jumping from the 30th floor and then you die, that's not the floor punishing you for jumping. That's you suffering the consequences of your own actions, right? On the other hand, death can be viewed as a mercy on the part of God. Because if Adam and Eve continued to live permanently, eternally, in their separation from God, then they would have had no chance to repent from their sin, right? If you think about it, the fallen angels live in this condition of complete separation with God. And if God had not given us the opportunity to repent, we would have basically been demonized. So in more ways than one, this death was actually a mercy and not just a punishment. Now, I think about this in my own life, and I tell you, I don't know why, but usually when I'm far, when I'm not close to Him, I tend to think about death, and it just creates a lot of anxiety for me. But when I'm close to Him, I don't. And it's not that I don't because I have faith and I know He's going to be there. None of that. They're just thoughts, they just disappear completely. And again, it makes me think, why, right? And I see again death as a means, which is evil, no question, but it's still a means that God is using. He's using the evil to get some good out of it. That good is meant to bring us back to His fold, right? Without death, there's nothing to stop us from living completely separated from Him. But death gives us pause. Death lets us think a little bit more about how we want to live, who we want to be, and just puts in our heart this need, this desire to know Him. And I think that's why, in many ways, death can be a mercy, not just simply a punishment. So that's what I have for today. Again, I told you I'm going to drop a link for the Lord of Spirits. Great podcast. Episodes tend to be a little bit long, but they are full of great content. So try it out. Till next time, God bless you.